Now let's go to Michael Shure, political correspondent for the Young Turks on Current TV, now joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina. Michael, we I think should start with recapping that last night at the Republican convention in Tampa. We had the Clint Eastwood bizarre, almost sad, yelling at furniture speech, and then we had the Mitt Romney speech. In the media, it's been Monday morning quarterbacked all over the place with Republicans kind of saying it was good, although the Romney campaign has completely removed all evidence of the Eastwood thing from their RNC video. And then we've seen Democrats understandably say, wow, that was horribly embarrassing. But I'm curious, what was it like actually being there in Tampa? What were the Republicans that were there? What were they saying? What were they doing?
Well, beforehand, as you would expect, Clint Eastwood came out. There was a huge ovation. People were excited that Clint was going to be there because of who he is. I was saying to my colleagues at Current, I couldn't believe that there was this excitement over an 82-year-old actor. I understand he's still working. I understand he still directs. But their policies harken back 82 years in some respects, and here they are trotting out this 82-year-old actor who is charming, and he is Clint Eastwood. He's iconic. He's an American. But afterwards, I think that people were saying we're kind of dazed. If that's, I think that's the best word. They wanted to say it was great. They didn't really know what had happened. And then the next day, I think people were really bemused over the fact that no one was talking about Romney's speech at all. It totally took over. He was usurped by Clint Eastwood, and that is not obviously what they intended on. It was not a memorable speech to begin with. It wasn't a bad speech. It was sort of workmanlike as far as acceptance speeches go. But nobody is talking about it. Nobody is sharing anecdotes because everybody was talking about the sort of snafu of Clint Eastwood.
Was it considered a snafu by kind of, I was talking this morning actually, not on any kind of show. I was just talking on the phone with TYT's Aaron Wysocki, and he was saying that he expected to see a very broad mix of Republicans and reasonable people and blah, blah, blah. And he said really everybody he bumped into fits some kind of stereotype of who we assume is at these events. And he didn't really find those reasonable people that have a kind of more down-to-earth view on things. Who were you talking to? Were they just incredibly stunned by how great Eastwood was, or what did they think?
Yeah, I'm surprised that I expected to see sort of a wide swath there. There's a real homogeneity that you don't see at the Democratic convention, but of course you see at the Republican convention. All the people I spoke to afterwards, after that speech, both within media and mostly the delegates and the sort of rank and file, people I was sitting next to at inside the hall, just sort of said, whoops, that was a bad thing. He seemed senile. I don't think people were offended by his reference to the F word, but just sort of the senility and the awkward moments there. It kind of drowned the room. It was really, here's another thing, David, it was the first night that there was any real energy in the hall. I mean, like the kind of energy that when you close your eyes and you imagine what a political convention is like, that kind of energy. It was the only night that existed. It totally sapped the energy that Romney was counting on. And I think, so people were saying that, people were defending it. People were saying, oh, it doesn't matter. He's not running for president. He's only an actor. Oh, it was fun. It was Clint Eastwood. You never know what you're going to get. Well, you kind of do know what you're going to get with Clint Eastwood, and it's not what you got. And so I think that was felt largely by the delegates. They're trying to apologize. They're trying to put the best face on it, understandably so, as anyone would. But it wasn't the kind of night they were hoping for.
All right, how is Charlotte so far feeling different or similar to the atmosphere in Tampa?
I would say that Charlotte feels a little less secure in the way that you don't feel like you're entering the Baghdad green zone that we talked about last week. But it feels, I don't feel any less safe, I should also say. There is, Democrats look a little more like America. When you see a Democratic Party, you see a Democratic convention, you see lots of different faces, you see lots of different sort of economic strata, you see congressmen out, you see senators out, you see all of that. But the energy is a little bit different. It's a little less organized too, but it seems like as if you're looking a little more at America than it was at the Republican convention.
All right, so tonight we've got Michelle Obama. We'll be doing instant response to that speech as we did all of last week. I expect it to be an interesting speech. I'm curious to see Ann Romney's speech. She opened by saying this isn't about party or politics. It was exclusively about that. I'm interested to see whether Michelle Obama will make a similar disclaimer, but also how much reference to specific policy will there be? We just don't know yet.
No, we don't know. I don't expect there's going to be a tremendous amount. I think that there's a, that she's going to be calling the president Barack a lot, and that would be my guess. And she's going to try, in an interesting way, both she and Ann Romney, if you want to really dig into this analysis, and I'm one who doesn't think we should overanalyze what the first lady and the potential first lady are saying, but if we want to for this exercise, they both have the same task in a way, is to soften their man. We know Barack Obama, he's a known quantity, but there is an aloofness, there's a distance to Barack Obama that I think maybe his spouse is going to try and rein in for people who have lost touch with him or who are new to this process. So I think there may be a little bit of that. I don't think you're going to get into serious policy. And again, everybody here is waiting for Bill Clinton. People are waiting for Joe Biden. People obviously waiting for Barack Obama.
All right, Michael Shure, political correspondent for the Young Turks on Current TV. We'll check in with you tomorrow.
David, thanks.